a party in the RPT, you know what's going down. I got that case of beer if you got the cooking crown.
69 missionary, doggy style cowgirl. 69 missionary, doggy style cowgirl.
Keep it wicked when I'm spitting my shit. There ain't no competition when I walk and spit in this bitch.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of Behind the Mask of Mr. Fuentes. I'm Franco. I'm joined here by the man himself, the myth, the man, the legend, Mr. Fuentes.
What's up, guys? What's going down?
He's sporting that Wrestling Tacos tee.
That Wrestling Tacos.
I'm also here with Soraya.
What's up, Soraya? Yeah, what's up, dude? Ready to get started on talking on another Mr. Fuentes classic?
Mr. Fuentes classic. Today we are talking about track Nightout on Speedballing, because of course this season is all Speedballing. Nightout, there is 3 now, I believe, right?
Yes.
There's a total of 3. This is the OG, the first Nightout. We're going to talk about it. I really don't have many questions. I don't know if you want to talk about it before we get into the song. If you want to give like a... Okay, was this the second track you ever put out after Party in the RBT? Or was this later on?
I think this was probably the... It might have been like the 4th track, but like the... Because I think I put out So In Love right before Nightout. And then Nightout a little bit after that. But it's like the 3rd solo song I dropped, because a little bit in between that I dropped some songs with me and Podunk together. I had Boss Like That and then No Mercy as well. So looking at my Spotify, because it shows you like the order I've uploaded them on, I have Party in RPT, Boss Like That, No Mercy, So In Love, and Nightout.
You mean SoundCloud?
Huh?
You mean SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, on SoundCloud. Sorry.
Yeah.
And on SoundCloud, but like I told you on the last episode, because of that thing that happened with that chick, I had to unupload it and re-upload it again. So I don't know if when it came on before So In Love and I had to delete it and re-upload it, or if it was after So In Love, just overall. I don't really remember 100%.
Okay, so then we're not going in chronological order right now, because the song we did before this was Party in the RPT, which is your first... Sorry, I can't talk today. Your first solo track that you put out. You got a good reception. Wide reception? Good? Which one is it?
I would say good reception.
Good reception. I don't know why I said wide. On it, you said you had like 136 plays within the first hour.
I believe so, something like that.
And this one's like you said your 3rd or 4th solo. So what was going through your head as you were releasing them? Were you still getting the good reception, or was it like downhill or better? How was everything going around at the time? No. Sorry, sir.
I do remember, at least for this track, that like it was kind of like right after I had, it was a little bit after I had done Party in RPT, and I've been promoting that. I've been pushing that song a little bit more, and people were paying attention. Pretty much the same people that all listen to Party in RPT were like all the same people that listened to Nightout whenever I dropped it. So it got about, I would say 400, 500, plays in like a week. But I guess the replay value to some people wasn't that great. So it only got like 1 listen per person. So I wouldn't say it went like downhill, but would say like, people listen, but I guess Party in RPT was very much a local track, so all the locals, enjoyed it. But Nightout wasn't. Nightout was just a rap song that was telling a story. So some people just don't like story raps. They want to hear the hook. They want to dance to the hook. They want to do all that. This song has no hook. it's a straight rap song or rapping from beginning to end. There's no pause. There's no repeating. Well, kind of repeating, but we'll get to that later. It's just a story from beginning to end with no pauses. Which to some people, I guess, like I said, there's not that much replay value because I think some people like to just shake their butts to the hook, and that's it. That's what you listen to songs for.
I always like twerking the hooks, man.
Yeah, and I left like a small part in Night Out for you to twerk to. For like 10 seconds.
Let's see. I really don't have any other questions besides that. What was your mindset at? Can you remember how you came up with the idea? I mean, this was like the first. This was the first night out. Did you already have a plan that you're gonna be doing 3 of them, or was it just night out and then you went back later? I'm gonna do another one.
No, not at all. So what had happened was I like the Rack City beat because this is the Rack City beat that I used for this track, and Rack City chick, Rack City chick.
That's probably why I like the beat because I used to listen to that song a lot. I never connected it though.
But it was the Rack City. It's the Rack City beat, and I remember I really liked the beat, so I was like, oh yeah. So I thought I was like, I'm gonna write something to this, and so I started writing everything to this track. And whenever I got to the right after the hi, Mr. Franco Fuentes, can I be all on your body? I mean, you're really a rahati. I could tell you do Pilates. Right after I got after that little section, I was at like a writer's block. I didn't know where else to go, with the song. I was like, okay, it's like, is this where the hook comes in? What am I gonna do? I remember a friend came up to me and he said that I should do since it's Rockport, I should do Rock City chick, Rock City chick, like for the hook or something. But I just didn't, I just didn't know what to do. And I used to work graveyards at Whataburger a lot. So that's where I would have my headphones in, listening to beats, and I would just like do lyrics in my head like the whole time while I was at work, while I was making burgers and stuff. And I remember, like telling one of my friends, I was like, it'd be funny if I like wrote the song to like what happens like after you leave the club. Like every club song that you hear is always about the rapper getting the girl or like taking the girl home and like doing whatever, but it's never like what happens like when you take the girl home. Is everything hunky-dory? Is there any trouble? Do they ever run into the husband? Like what happens after you take the girl home from the club? And that idea kind of like, jumped in my head about like just kind of continuing the story after you leave the club. And that's where kind of like I like pretty much that's where the rest of the song direction went, was like, getting to the chick's house, finding out, the chick still lived with her parents, and that, she, I guess, would bring guys home to have sex while her parents were home. And anyway, basically the whole idea of the song, like how do you get out of that trouble, or like an actual night out song and not just like ending after you pick up the girls. Pretty much the mindset that I was at when I wrote the song.
Okay, that's today's episode. Thank you for watching. Y'all can tune in. Never mind. So yeah, I don't think you answered the question really. You didn't plan to have another one after?
Oh no! See, after I did this one, I figured I could just make a bunch of like different scenarios of having a night out where like something crazy would happen, or something I guess unfortunate would happen every time I tried to take a girl home. Basically, was the idea, at least when I first started doing the night out songs. And if we ever get to Night Out to the Halloween edition one, you'll kind of see like kind of a similar kind of progression of a story, going on there. But no, this wasn't ever planned. actually on sorry, on my new album Sneak Peek, I have no night out song, which was unfortunate because I didn't plan to not have a night out song. I actually had a beat picked out and everything, and I started writing a night out song for it. I got the first verse and everything, but before I could go buy that beat, it got leased out to someone else, or uh, somebody exclusively bought the beat, so I couldn't lease it out anymore. So I have this whole song that I started writing. Good concept, was a fun, probably one of the best verses I've ever wrote in my entire life, and I can't even use it anymore until I find a beat to fit it. So maybe maybe on my next album after Sneak Peek, I might have throw a night out song in there just to kind of keep the tradition going.
Speaking of Sneak Peek, I remember telling you one of my favorite tracks that you always do is Random Thoughts, which we'll get to like later on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Random Thoughts 2. I told you we're gonna make another one, part 3 for Sneak Peek. You said you will, but then it turned into a different song altogether. I think you said, which was what you call it, Lost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't listened to it, he has it. He did a live version of it, and it's somewhere on our catalog on YouTube. Go back and look it up. I think it was back in October or November he did it, and it's a really good song. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that ended up becoming just a random thoughts song because that's in the end that's what it was. It was just a bunch of random thoughts. So I just pretty much morphed it into a random thought song. I didn't plan for that song to be a random thought song, but it just kind of the direction it was taking when I was writing it and doing it. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely random thoughts vibe. So, but yeah, I mean, you don't have any questions on any like lyrics or anything that stood out to you that you wanted to talk about?
Just one really that we talked about yesterday. But I don't know if you want to talk about it now or you want to wait as the lyrics are playing.
Well, we can play. I guess because we're gonna start doing that, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
we're still getting the format down. We're gonna be playing the tracks during live.
Yeah. Where do you want me to stop at? Because there's no like, it's all together. You want me to stop at what I thought was the hook, 69 Missionary?
Mm,
You want me to stop earlier than that?
I mean, I really don't have any big like. I don't think there's anything that's like crazy that I need to explain. I do like personally think that this track is probably one of my best story tracks I've ever done. Like rhyme scheme wise and like direction wise, like it all made sense. Like I don't think I've ever made a song that was like close to this, to be honest. I was really impressed with my metaphors. I was really impressed with a lot of things in this track.
What's your favorite line from the song?
From this song? I was gonna say I got several favorite lines, but the first one right off the bat from the beginning is, "I'm a beast on the mic, so I guess she's my belle," because I thought that was just so clever.
Mm-hmm. Like that one.
One of the things I thought, it's something I've never done when writing music, but when I do this one part where I need 2 crowns of coke, I'm about to give one to the Splendor, a woman at the end of the tape. I've never done where I've like cut off like a part of a word just so I can rhyme it with the next word coming up, which is something new that I tried on this song.
When I first heard it, I thought it was Splendor. I thought you said ass. I didn't know it was the ending of Splendorous.
Oh,
It's not like you said ass. Like, what? Splendor ass?
yeah,
But-
no. Tinder, about to give one to the Splendor, a woman at the end of the table. I don't know, just a lot of the metaphors I use in here, like about to turn a reality into a fable. Like, no one uses fable as a word anymore. And just this whole little, just like literally this whole right after the like second little part, I would say. Rapping.
Let me start it so you play,
Uh-huh.
go through it, and then I'll stop it and we can talk about it.
Yeah, I would say every time the flow changes, stop it. So like right in the beginning, I do I see a gazelle, a mademoiselle, and then I jump into but I got the antidote. You know, that would be like a change to me.
Okay.
Creeping up like a panther. Which girl should I pamper? Take her home and do her dirty. I see a gazelle, a mademoiselle. I'm creeping through the club.
Chasing that tail.
I'm a beast on the mic, so I guess she's my belle. And right now I can tell she's not looking too well. But I got the antidote, couple of drinks of that Crown and Coke, a couple more down her throat, guaranteeing that she will cope. This could.
Damn, SoundCloud popping up with stuff.
Dang. Yeah, so like even right there, just in the beginning, like I was super impressed with myself. Like to me, and again, like I try not to be cocky, and I do understand, like, and maybe it works for you too. Like, you know, I read about a lot of shit, you know, like to help with like mental capacity, you know, dexterity, whatever you want to call it, like just mind stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I've come up about, you know, reading a lot of these things is like something that people call the flow state. You know, the flow state is what, you know, creative people or even athletic people they call it the flow state, which is where they're like at their peak performance or they're performing at a high efficiency, you know, more than normal in a set. They're in their flow state. I would say like when I wrote this song that I was in complete flow state. Like to me, the delivery could have got done a little better, you know, a little bit of like little things here and there could have got done a little better, but the writing was like on point to me. Like I write so many little things inside little things, like, you know, like I see a gazelle, a mademoiselle. Like that's just, to me, just that one line, I just blew my own mind. Like, you know, like I'm a tiger, so like I'm a panther, because I already said, you know, creeping up like a panther, and like, you know, I don't think panthers eat gazelles. I think lions eat gazelles, but whatever, you know, I'm a predator, and there's a gazelle, and then it's just like, oh wait, we need to humanize her. Oh, well, what's that other word we can use for female? Oh, a mademoiselle. You know, which is another word that people just don't think about. You know, who thinks about the word mademoiselle? You know, and then I'm creeping through the club chasing that tail. You know, I'm a beast on the mic, so I guess she's my belle. And right now, I can tell she's not looking too well. And just right there, like right now, I could tell she's not looking too well. And then just jumping straight from that to that. But I got the antidote, a couple of drinks of that Crown, a couple more down her throat, guarantee, and then she will cope. Like just going into that was like, to me, was so cool. It flowed so well. You know, it went from the she's not feeling well to, oh, but I know what will make her better. You know, well, I'll know what will make her feel better. Yeah, I just really enjoy the song. Like, especially when I go back and think about like the words. Like whenever you asked me to type this stuff out to send you, I was just like, man, I'm so goddamn clever.
I swear, you're the only person that sucks their own cock so much.
Oh man, I slobber all day, man.
So when you say, but I got the antidote, you meant to make her feel better. I thought you were talking about you got the rapper Antidote with you by your side.
Oh no. I think that was even before. That was way before I met Antidote.
All right. I have nothing else to add to those lines.
Oh, and the next part, this could be a sticky situation, is a callback to Bust a Nut when I think I say sticky situation and Bust a Nut somewhere. I don't remember exactly the line. Oh, no, it's not Bust a Nut. It's a callback to Party in the RPT. This could be a sticky situation. No. I say it somewhere in Party in the RPT as well. It's in the second verse.
Go back and listen.
Right.
All right, let's see. Rewind it a little
Sticky
bit.
situation, gonna need a little persuasion just to nab this Caucasian. So I'm a beast on the mic, so I guess she's my belle. And right now I can tell she's not looking too well. But I got the antidote, couple of drinks of that Crown and Coke, a couple more down her throat, guaranteeing that she will cope. This could be a sticky situation, gonna need a little persuasion just to nab this Caucasian. So I slide up to the bar and tell the tender, I need 2 crowns of Coke, I'm about to give one to the Splendor. Us woman at the end of the table, I'm about to turn a reality into a fable. I miss yourself, when this can I be all on your...
Kind of like I said earlier, I mean, you know, my favorite parts out of there are the pause I do after Splendor, us woman at the end of the table, and about to turn reality into a fable. I think I do a pretty good job of painting the scenery when I say I slide up to the bar and tell the tender, I need 2 crowns of Coke, I'm about to give one to the Splendor. You know, this song is like almost 10 years old. This would have meant that this was me 10 years ago who wrote this, which I was like 22 probably about that time. I am thoroughly impressed with 22-year-old me, man. like, you know, some people can't do this, you know, that well, you know, paint a story with lyrics. And, you know, me 10 years ago, I think did a great job at doing that. I'm thoroughly impressed with how this song came about. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I already talked about my favorite parts on this part.
Like I said, Splendor is. I heard ass. I got nothing else to really add either. I said this might be a quick episode just because I mean we have nothing really to talk about in it. Just breaking it down.
Breaking it down.
Joint so we can blow this joint and I can bend your joint if you get my point. Yup, and that's all it took. Like I just threw the lure, she's already hooked. We tried to get a motel, but they are gonna need a little persuasion just to nab this Caucasian. So I slide up to the bar and tell the tender, I need 2 crowns of Coke, I'm about to give one to the Splendor. Us woman at the end of the table, I'm about to turn a reality into a fable. I miss yourself, when this can I be all on your body? I mean, you really are a hottie, I can tell you do Pilates. Let's blow this joint so we can blow this joint and I can bend your joint if you get my point. Yup, and that's all it took. Like I just threw the lure, she's already hooked. We tried to get a motel, but they all were booked. I said we have to go to your house if you want to get shook. So I parked down the street, she said we had to be quiet.
Okay, now you got her from the bar, you're taking to the car, her place.
I think one of the lines that I thought was I remember talking to someone about it. I said we have to go to your house if you want to get shook. I didn't know if it was gonna work because I didn't know if anyone was gonna understand it. But like at that time, I was in audio engineering school college. I was in college for audio engineering, and our teacher, he part of our ear training lessons that we had to do, we had to pick out frequencies that were boosted in a song. So the song that we were doing was Back in Black by AC/DC. Well, on the album Back in Black by AC/DC, there's a track called She Shook Me All Night Long, or I Shook Her All Night Long. I don't remember the exact song thing, but that was basically the idea. Like, she shook me all night long. Basically talking about them having sex all night. And so, you know, to me, shook was another, you know, simile, I think that's the right word, for sex. So I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm all the way down here to the bottom. I need one more rhyme that goes with ooked. And shook is the one that came out. So I thought that was pretty clever in a sense, but not like, I wouldn't say it was clever. It was just a good little, it just so happened I was listening to AC/DC at that time that I even came up with that rhyme, or else I never would have probably figured that out. It probably would have never been the word shook if I wasn't listening to AC/DC at that time.
Took, hooked, booked, shook. You could have done nuke, crook. Add
Nope.
those in there as well.
Huh?
I don't know. Let's see. Where do we stop at? This one, you say your name again, Mr. Saul Fuentes. You're going by that at the time already, right?
At that time, yeah, I was going by the full name, Mr. Saul Fuentes.
Okay, cool.
With my roommates, it can get a bit violent.
We slip past the front door and into a room. Then we Rahadi, I can tell you do Pilates. Let's blow this joint so we can blow this joint. And I can bend your joint if you get my point. Yup, and that's all it took. Like I just threw the lure, she's already hooked. We tried to get a motel, but they all were booked. I said we have to go to your house if you want to get shook. So I parked down the street, she said we had to be quiet.
Let's not wake my roommates, it can get a bit violent.
We slipped past the front door and into a room. Then we took off our clothes, the positions we assumed they were
69 missionary, doggy style cowgirl. 69 missionary, doggy style cowgirl. 69 missionary, doggy style cowgirl. That girl really, really rocked my world.
When we were done, she said she felt brand new, like a broken birdhouse. She just needed a screw.
OMG, you're amazing. How do you do what you do?
I can show you, baby girl, but are you ready for round two? I was about to.
Yeah.
69 missionary doggy style cowgirl. I thought that was the hook at first. You said it's not. You do reuse this line multiple times, I want to say. Maybe more than... I know for sure more than this track, but did you use it 3 more times or 2 more times?
So far, I've used it in every Night Out song.
Okay. I really like it, and then I know whenever you do it live, you do... I think you've done it live. I don't know which Night Out you've done.
I've done this Night Out live, and I mostly do Night Out Dogcatcher live more often than this song because of probably something we're going to talk about later on in the episode. But I do occasionally do this one. I mean, at this point, it's like if you're a fan of my music, and we'll just talk about it later. But yeah, I mean, this is just, to me, this was like the first little kind of like, I don't know what you call it, if you call it a hook or a bridge or some kind. I mean, technically it is a hook. I mean, you're not wrong. It is a hook, but it's a hook that only gets played one time.
I think it is called a bridge that if it gets played once.
Well, bridge comes back multiple times, I think.
Okay, then it might be a hook, because I know one of them is played, you only play it one time and that's it.
I think there's something called like a phrase that it gets played only one time. I mean, I don't know all the musical terms, to be honest. I should, but I don't. But yes, that, I don't know, like I use, and I may like take it away eventually and not do the 69 missionary doggy style cowgirl, and I may try to find something else newer in one of the other 2 tracks to pass along to the next Night Out. But I only originally did it because I wanted them to be kind of linked together. Like, anyway, they wanted them to be linked together. So people that enjoyed the first Night Out would hear the callback on the second or third Night Out, you know. Because I did have friends that really freaking loved this song. Like, I remember when I put out my, like, I would give away demos to people at concerts, which is kind of one of the dumbest things ever. But I would make my own albums, for Speedballin' and Smile and Wave at home, but then I would also give out demos, and I would make people pay for Speedballin' or Smile and Wave, but I would always give out demos for free, and it cost me the exact same amount of money to do both, except for the fact that I printed covers and stuff like that. But I mean, for a burnt CD, it's the price of a burnt CD, you know? But in my head, I would put out demos because if I could show you like 6 songs that are like good back to back, then maybe you'll and you get used to those songs, like, okay, what else does this artist have to offer? Then maybe they'll actually listen to my full album. Moreover, if I just gave someone my full album and it starts off with, you know, Random Thoughts 2 on Smile and Wave, and it's kind of a depressing song. Not really depressing, but it's a more lower energy song. People will be like, what the fuck is this shit? Fuck this guy. You know? But if I gave you a demo with 5 tracks and it starts off with Party in the RPT, then you'd be like, oh, okay, this guy likes to party, man. Like, he's so cool, he's so fly. Oh shit, he goes out to clubs and takes girls home and gets chased out by their dads. But I would have a lot of people come up to me after I'd give them a demo, especially locally. They'd be like, Night Out, man, that's my shit. I swear I know every single lyric to Night Out. And I'm just like, it's a good track, man. I'm glad you do, man.
I liked it. It's a really good track. Always never differentiated. I always saw Night Out. So I wouldn't like pay attention much. I know the 6ix9ine Mission I always hear, so I always thought the same song, just like a different. I think I like alternate versions. That's why I originally thought they were.
I got you.
But
so yeah, they're all different tracks. Yes.
To be fair, I don't listen to Speedballin'. I didn't listen to it as often as the other albums you had, like Smile and Wave and Leftover Pizza. Even though Leftover Pizza is basically both of them.
I mean, Leftover Pizza is just what you just said. I mean, it's just a blend of all the tracks that I legally could put on a CD and sell from Speedballin' and Smile and Wave with 2 new tracks on them, which I think we'll get into once we get to the Leftover Pizza album.
When we were down, she said she felt brand new, like a broken birdhouse. She just needed a screw. How'd you feel about that line when you first wrote it? How do you feel about it now?
I mean, I think it's pretty legit, man. It's a good metaphor, bro. She felt brand new, like a broken birdhouse. She just needed a screw, man.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's lazy a little bit.
I mean, I think every metaphor track's any track with a metaphor is almost lazy until like you hear it too many times. Like, or any track with a metaphor kind of sounds lazy. It only sounds cool if you haven't heard it yet, you know. But once you start making the connections, it's like, oh, that was kind of simple to think of. But like, I think one I heard before, like, to be honest, Tech-9's one of my favorite rappers, but he uses sometimes the most laziest metaphors for like stuff. Like, he's like, I'll never be on free. I'll never be on freeze. Like antifreeze or something like that before, and I was just like, what the fuck was that, bro? There's a track, man. What does he do? Damn it, I forget the track.
This ain't about Tech-9 right now.
Oh,
he can do his own behind the music of Tech-9.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a clever little metaphor. Like a broken birdhouse, she just needed a screw, man.
On top when I heard a door close, I didn't move, she didn't move, we both laid there. Said she felt brand new, like a broken birdhouse, she just needed a screw.
OMG, you're amazing, how do you do what you do?
I can show you, baby girl, but are you ready for round 2? I was about to get on top when I heard a door close. I didn't move, she didn't move, we both laid there froze. I think your roommates are awake, maybe I should go. She kind of panicked, kind of grabbed me, then she just said, no. The door opened up, she said, oh no, daddy. I thought to myself, wait, oh no, daddy? I'm laying in my underwear, her daddy giving me a stare. I hope she's legal in Texas. Wait, I don't even care.
Okay, let's talk about it. You say, don't draw on the computer. You say, hold up, she's on the table. Sorry for all the noise, she's on the table. Door opened up, she said, oh no, daddy. I thought to myself, wait, oh no, daddy. I'm laying in my underwear, her daddy giving me a stare. I hope she's legal in Texas. Wait, I don't even care. Let's talk about it. What do you... Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
So, Originally, when I wrote this song, I felt like I could have went two different ways. The way that it went, that we're probably about to talk about, and that Daddy could have been a hooker. You know, like she's a hooker, and her pimp was her daddy. You know, pimps call, or the girls call their pimp's daddy. You know, sometimes. So I was like, look, this could either be a hooker, or this could be, or this could be a pimp who just caught me sleeping with his girl, and he had no idea that she was sleeping with me, and I'm about to get my ass kicked. Or this was somebody whose house I was in, whose parents were home, and she took me to her parents' house, and we were having sex. So at the time, I was like, I mean, which one's more realistic for my town and my area? And I was like, probably the second one would probably be more realistic. So I ended up going with that one. I mean, my breakdown of it is like, especially like the last line, like, I hope she's legal in Texas. Wait, I don't even care. Like, everyone wants you to be concerned that, dude, she has her dad there. Like, is she even legal? Like, what the hell? Like, what the fuck, dude? But like at that point in time, if you're in that situation, this is how I kind of thought about it. If you're in that situation where you're probably about to get your ass beat by someone, I wouldn't even just say someone's daddy, but a grown man. You're about to get your ass beat by a grown man because you're in bed with a girl that he's protecting. You really wouldn't care what she was. You know, the idea might pop through your head like, I hope she's legal in Texas, so if the police get called, I don't get in trouble. But at the end, I'm like, wait, I'm probably about to fight this guy. Like, I don't even care. Like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, it's pretty much where my brain is.
Okay, and that's the reason you don't hardly play at shows anymore?
So I realized, and it was actually one of my friends who's about my same age, you know, I don't know if I've talked about this much before, but I've never, you know, I would do like shows like here and there, a lot of open mics and stuff like that. It was like, I guess, okay. But open mics, they have like, what, 10, 15 people on a good night, like 30 people. You know, you don't really got that many people you're doing stuff for. And I wasn't really doing concerts, like opening up for anyone or doing anything at that time. So basically, the real time I started doing like concerts, like started actually performing in front of people and doing stuff was when I was like 28 years old. You know, it was when I started going to Austin, started going to Dallas, pretty much signed to Funny Farm and all that stuff. When I started doing concerts in front of bigger crowds, like 100 people, 200 people, stuff like that. And I remember I did a concert, and I remember playing that track, and one of my friends, who's my age, he was like 20. We were both like 29 at the time. He was like, "Hey, dude, I don't mean this in any disrespect. Night Out's a great song. It's one of my favorite songs." He's like, "I don't think you should be performing this anymore or as much anymore," because I was like, it's one of my favorite tracks too. So it was like in rotation with my concert tracks that I would do. It was just in heavy rotation. Pretty much anytime I did a concert, I would always play "Get Out of My Face," "Party in the RPT," and "Night Out." Like those were like the three songs I pretty much always did. And "I'm So Cool, I'm So Fly," and yeah, he told me, and the more I thought about it, I was just like, well, I mean, I wrote that song when I was like younger. I mean, it's not like it's unheard of. Like, I don't know your background. You don't seem like a guy who went out and partied a lot at any point in your life. But me, you know, I didn't start partying or doing anything until I got out of high school. So whenever I was like 18, 19 was when I started going to parties. And parties in Rockport, you know, you can age from 16 years old to like 23-year-olds. You know, that's pretty much, you know, where that range of people and age was. And I was like slab in the middle. I was like 19, 20 years old, going to all these parties, getting drunk with all these people. And so when I wrote the song, it was just like, yeah, that could happen. That could happen, that you went home with a girl who was not almost there. It didn't happen to me, because actually I didn't sleep around with a lot of people as much as I would like to have. But there were other people that I knew that, it had happened. Well, I didn't know them personally, but I had heard, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? She went with so-and-so, and so-and-so's only this age. And I was like, man, it's none of my business, whatever. But I knew it would happen around this town a lot. But yeah, I mean, when I wrote the song, I wrote it in that age bracket. And when I perform it, I still personally think that's the age that, people are going to look at that. But, like he also said, like, well, no one knows you made that song when you were 22 years old. No one knows that you made that song almost, 10 years ago from now. That could be one of your newest tracks ever. And it's like, come on, man, it's the Rack City. It's a Rack City beat. What, I just fucking dug that shit from 12 years ago just to make a track? Like, and there, but it's just like, no, I get you. And, I get it. And it was really hard to let go of this song, to perform live, because, and I still do it every once in a while when I kind of know the crowd and I know the type of people that are going to be there. Like, especially like in this area, Corpus, I do have a pretty big following, or I wouldn't say big, but a pretty loyal following. The people that show up are normally people that know me as a person, so they don't think I'm over here just sleeping around with underage girls and shit. But so I can actually get to play that song and do stuff. But that line right there pretty much killed this song for being played live as much as I would like to do it. And I thought about changing it, but at the same time too, like, to me, when people change lyrics, especially if they're embarrassed of old lyrics they wrote, like, it's kind of like a sellout, because, people grow, people change. It's just the reality of life. You shouldn't have to go back and edit all your music from ideas you had when you were younger, or ideas you had when you were growing up. I mean, musicians are people too, and they're going to evolve and change their points of views and stuff like that. You shouldn't be embarrassed because you had a point of view at some point. Just be glad that you don't have it anymore or whatever. But, and if it really bothers you that much, then, like I said earlier, don't perform the song anymore. But don't change your lyrics just so you can play the song. Like, it cheapens you as an artist. At least that's how I feel, personally.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, whenever you become famous and people go back to this to listen to it, your thoughts, this song is 100% made up.
Yes. It is. 100% made up. It's a story. It did not happen in real life. I never went to a girl's house and got caught by her dad sleeping with her. I know it sounds like we're joking because we're laughing, but no, it didn't.
I was laughing at the nose because I looked up and you're wearing the nose. And you said, yes, wearing the nose.
Yes.
Okay. You want to discuss anything else about it or about those lines at all?
No, I mean, unless you have anything else.
No, but I do love the ending, which we get to.
Well, but I don't want to go to jail. He tried to jump for me, but I rolled to the left. I was ready to fight, but he hit his head on the desk. I grabbed my shoes and my pants and started running down the hall, but out of the corner of my eye, gorgeous woman I saw. I missed herself, went to top when I heard a door close. I didn't move, she didn't move, we both laid there froze. I think your roommates are awake, maybe I should go. She kind of panicked, kind of grabbed me, then she just said, no. The door opened up, she said, oh no, daddy. I thought to myself, wait, oh no, daddy. I'm laying in my underwear, her daddy giving me a stare. I hope she's legal in Texas. Wait, I don't even care. What the hell? Yep, it's time to bail. See, the night was swell, but I don't want to go to jail. He tried to jump for me, but I rolled to the left. I was ready to fight, but he hit his head on the desk. I grabbed my shoes and my pants and started running down the hall, but out of the corner of my eye, gorgeous woman I saw. I missed herself. When this can I be all on your... Get away from my wife. Oh yeah, Belle.
Run.
Out the front door.
Jump.
Over a lawn gnome.
Jump.
Over the front gate.
Jump.
Over an orange cone.
Run.
Down the street.
Jump.
Into a bush.
Hide in the light like a ninja in the night.
Besides a great escape, I think this night out was great. Now, where did I park? What was that girl's name? Nick. I don't know. Call me.
Hey. So, you sent me the song, Mr. Fuentes and Podunk. Is Podunk the voices? Is Podunk in this at all, or is the voices like, who are the voices?
Oh, I just put M Podunk because that was the album. Technically, the artists were me and him, but no,
Okay.
it was me with my voice deepened.
Okay. And even the woman's voice?
Yeah, those
Okay.
are also me. Thank you for pointing that out.
I do like the run out the front door, jump over a lawn gnome, jump over the front gate, jump over an orange cone, run down the street, jump into a bush, hide from the light like a ninja in the night. That whole line, I like.
I think it's funny because in the next night out, there's samples of "Don't Be a Menace" from Drinking Juice in the South Central of the Hood. I don't even know it's that one really dumb.
The parody one?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a parody originally when I first saw the movie. Remember seeing "Don't Be a Menace" on TV? Was "Don't Be a Menace" was it Society or whatever? And I was like,
Menace to Society. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there watching it, and I'm like, "Where's the funny in this?" And I realized it was a parody. I was like, "Never mind."
But there's a scene in there where like he escapes from this chick, like this crazy chick he's having sex with, and he's running down the street and he's tripping over himself, like trying to get away from her. That was kind of like the idea I had when I was trying to like escape out of this person's house. Like I'm just jumping over everything, but a lot more smoother, obviously, than that guy. But it's funny because that's what I kind of had in mind when I wrote this song, and then I used samples from the other song and the other song that I do, which we'll probably go over eventually.
Anything else you want to talk about on this song? I like the way you went with the mother.
Oh yeah, that to me that was hilarious. I was like I said, 10 years ago me, it was just the creme de la creme. It's just like
It's been downhill for the next 10 years.
I mean, honestly, man, like that dude, he knew what he was fucking doing at that time. Like, he wrote like the best freaking story rap you could ever write. Like, it had twists, it had turns, it had comedy. I always wanted to do a freaking like mini video series of like, because I wanted to do a multiple night outs, like up to like night out 10, and then do like a mini like R. Kelly.
Oh, you want to be Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
You want to make it family?
Family. Well, making a family, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've always thought that, if I did a music video or something for this, it would have just been the funniest, like, the beat drops. Hi, Mr. Saul Fuentes. Can I be? And it's just like the girl that's in the bed with her dad on the ground, like, what the hell? And this lady just in her room, just like, who is this guy? Yeah, just always just like that image in my head has always been there. It always be good. It sucks. Like it sucks when you're creative, when you're so poor and young, because it's like, for me to go back and try to do a music video for this track at my age now, with that line inside of the song, would not go over very well. But if I was younger, and I did it like right after it got done, like it wouldn't be that big of a deal, Maybe some people might be like, "Oh my God, you're 22 and she could have been like 16." But like, "Oh my God, you're 32 and she could be 16."
I feel like if you do a video now, though, you can make fun of it and have it be a woman that's much older. For sure, as much older, so that line becomes funny. Like having with gray hairs and everything, looking like a grandma from Golden Girls.
Yes, that's exactly what
And
I
then
thought.
it would become funny.
I hope she's legal in Texas.
If you want a video of all the night outs, comment down below. Let Fuentes know you want it. Message him, sign into his DMs, tell him I want that video next year.
I'll figure it out. Even if Franco has to wear a wig, we'll figure it out. I've been trying to look for this. I have this video, and I'm trying to find it so I can play it live.
I like how he says it's gonna be like maybe a quick episode, or going 50 minutes.
Yeah. Nope, it's not that one. Maybe it's this. Ooh, this might be it. This is it. I found it. All right. So anyway, I'll do it as like an ender of this episode, but man, my brain hurts. Yeah, I mean, I had to conclude it. I kind of talked about this a little bit on the last episode, and honestly, I don't want to get myself in more trouble with this person, so I'm not going to re-talk about it. But I did have to change the alternate ending of this song, because originally I had used a girl's name that's local in this town, or the town of Rockport, and she at the time was a local bartender, and yeah, that didn't go over well, especially when I went out to try to get drinks and stuff. So I ended up taking down the song, taking out her name, and re-uploading the song without her name in it. But yeah, the song kind of got me in a little bit of a fiasco locally because of that. And it's such a small town that like anything you do, basically everybody hears. So it was definitely one of those things like, Saul, how could you? Oh my God. Yeah, but it was okay in the end. But yeah, I mean, are there any other questions about this track that you have?
Nope, not that I have. You have anything else you want to put before we put the nail in the coffin for Night Out, Wono?
Not that I really want to talk about, except like I said before, I really do like, this is one of my best story raps I've ever wrote, and it's one of my first story raps I've ever wrote. And to me, even to this like time and age right now, like 10 years later, it still holds up. Like I think it's a pretty solid track still. Like I think this will always be a Mr. Fuentes classic, track. Like, and I'm glad, I'm glad that I'm not looking back at this track 10 years later, right when I was still trying to figure out my style and my flow and, my music, and think that it was complete trash. Because I know some people do that to their music. They'll go back and listen to something they made 10 years ago, and they'll be like, oh my God, that was freaking horrible. Like, how can I have done something like that? And I go back and listen to some of my stuff, and I'm like, damn, like I was on a level I didn't even know I was at already, and it's kind of funny too, because like when you're in the moment of like something, I don't want to say you always think something's great, but when you're in the moment and you create something that you personally created, it always feels like it's like more than what it really is. It takes a few months and even maybe a full year to like take a step back and then revisit a project to be like, oh, okay, I see what I could have done better. I see what I could have like fixed. I see how I could have been more professional. So I'm really glad that I can look back at some of these old tracks like we are right now and be like, wow, like you were really pretty polished. Like, yeah, you're a little still rough on the edges, but you were kind of there when it came to the rapping skill, the writing skill, at least. The delivery still needed a little work, but my writing skills were pretty damn good, already. And, I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing. I think my writing skills have gotten a bit better, but I don't think they've gotten much better, to be honest. So maybe I still need to be working on myself a little bit more when it comes to writing. But this, like I said, it still holds up. I enjoy listening to it. I don't cringe when I hear it. It's some good stuff, man.
That's good. You said that this is your favorite or the best story rap you've written. I still think Paranoid takes that cake.
Paranoid's pretty good.
Yeah, that's mine and Nick's one of mine and Nick's favorite tracks.
Is it because it's horror themed?
You know, I never thought about it being horror themed until now. Makes sense. No, probably why.
No, I mean, yeah, it's one of my favorite story raps. Paranoid's good. I like Paranoid. It's one of my favorite tracks because Paranoid is 100% me. Like besides the verse with Kenny, but I made the beat, I recorded it, I mixed it, I mastered it, I did everything on that track.
It features Ghost, right?
Yeah.
Is that what he goes by now?
Oh, his name's Ghost still.
No,
what did I say?
You said Kenny. Kenny was Kansas, wasn't it?
Kenny was Kansas, and then Kansas turned to Ghost.
Okay. So okay. See, I thought you didn't do any more tracks with Kansas, but okay, it's Ghost now.
Yes, Kansas is Ghost now.
I liked him in Paranoid. It was really good. So you had him in. What song you recently released for the Purple?
Oh, something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I really liked him in that one too. I didn't know that was Kansas. I thought that was someone. I thought Ghost was a different person, so I thought that was someone new. I thought you were already he wasn't rapping anymore.
He doesn't really rap anymore, but I mean,
he'll still feature if you need him.
Just like my Night Out tracks, where I try to do one Night Out track and album, I try to do one verse from Kenny or Ghost an album. You know, every time I try to do an album, I try to get Kenny. And dude, that's a freaking, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenge in itself, because Kansas, Kenny, Ghost, he does not stay in one place. Sometimes he literally is his name. He ghosts out on me, and I don't hear from him for like 6 months to 7 months, and then he comes back. And yeah, he's a ghost, man.
Well, that's good to hear. I thought he was just that one song and whatnot, but that makes Paranoid even better and something as well.
Hell
but
yeah.
You say you want to play the video before we end it?
Yeah. So I've been kind of wanting to do like a tribute. And anyone listening right now, if you're listening to this, everything that I'm about to show is going to be video wise. You're going to hear the audio in the background, but it's going to be more video. So if you want to go to YouTube and check out this episode, starting at the 57 mark, you'll start seeing, this, what we're talking about here. But if you have other things to do, this may be where you want to hop off. I don't think we're going to be talking about very much after this is done. But I wanted to...
YouTube.com/Emosawa Productions, EMOSCWA Productions.
YouTube.com/Emosawa Productions. So whenever I was first coming up in rap, I would go to CC Fridays. I don't know if you knew about CC Fridays. Apparently Manny went to CC Fridays, and I used to go to a lot of CC Fridays. I never remember seeing Manny. But he said he used to show up there too. That's where he said he actually knew me. He met me at CC Fridays, and I do not remember meeting this guy. But
that's funny.
He said he was there. But anyway, yeah, so what I'm about to show you is my first time I ever performed at CC Fridays. And the song that I performed was Night Out, and I got it recorded. And it's just funny to kind of see the reaction of everyone, because we talk about, a lot of the stuff today, like how people would react to certain lyrics and stuff like that. And I don't really know how to explain it, but this video, like when I go back and watch it every once in a while, I haven't watched it. I think I watched it last year more recently because I wanted to make a tribute video for CC Fridays because they kind of stopped doing CC Fridays and they keep trying to bring it back, but it doesn't seem like it's catching traction. So I think at this point, they're probably just going to cut their losses and just say that that was a good era and time. But, you know, I will never forget that CC Fridays was something that helped me as Mr. Fuentes become something of a local known name. That's what CC Fridays did for me. So I wanted to do a tribute video, and this was the tribute I was going to do, was show my very first goings to CC Fridays. And so, yeah, that's what I got for y'all. Let me share my screen. I can share a whole ass video file? How does that work?
Never tried it.
Me neither. We're about to learn something new today. But I got the antidote. A couple of drinks of that Crown and Coke.
I guess as he's working on that, we can close out everything. If you're listening, you can go subscribe on YouTube. Again, youtube.com/Productions. As of recording, we're recording this Sunday, May 29th. What is it, 500? So thank y'all. That's awesome. Subscribe to YouTube. Maybe we get 1,000 this year. I don't know. We had to go 500 for this year, but we're already mid-year and we hit 500 already. So I think it's time to put a new goal out there. You can follow me on Instagram, Rasslin Tacos, WRASSLINTALKOS. I do videography for wrestlers. My wife does photography for wrestlers, and we do a whole bunch of wrestling content. And you can also follow Mr. Fuentes on all the social medias as well.
Yes, and for me, Mr. Fuentes, you can go to anywhere you stream music. Just look up Mr. Fuentes, Mr. Fuentes. I wear a mask with a bunch of words on it, like "Don't ask questions, follow the leader," things like that, with a big red smile, and that'll be my profile picture. You can listen to my music there. I also have a SoundCloud where a lot of my underground music, like this, or mixtape type of music, like the song me and Franco are discussing today, you can go there, just search Mr. Fuentes or Absolute Kings, and it'll pop up, you know, around there, and maybe just Mr. Fuentes Nightout, and the track will probably pop up straight up there. You can follow me on all my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all at Mr. Fuentes 361. And again, Mr. Fuentes is Mr. Fuentes. And yeah, I think it uploaded. I'm going to try the videos. So I'm going to try to push play or share it. I don't know how this is going to work. Do you have to share it?
I think so.
Okay. So this one right here is right before I got introduced onto onto the little stage that we had. And you know, a lot of these guys that I looked through the video, it's funny, like they were all strangers at that time. They all became really good friends, especially Carbon, who's the guy that I'm going to be talking to. Like, what's your name? I'm like, Mr. Fuentes. And he's like, oh, okay, Mr. Fuentes.
Is Mr. Fuentes in the building? Mr. Fuentes.
Did you see that beardless sapling?
Are you going to be a freestyle, or are you going to do a ritual? All right, cool. Beautiful.
So that's a little like me about to get on, and then the next one is me doing the Nightout track.
I see a gazelle, a mademoiselle. I'm creeping in the club. I'm a beast on the mic, so I guess she's my bill. Okay. Right now I can tell she's not looking too well. But I got the attitude. Couple of drinks of that Crown and Coke. A couple words out our throat, guaranteeing that she will cope. This could be a sticky situation. Gonna need a little persuasion just to nab this Caucasian. So I slide up to the bar and tell the tender I need 2 crowns of Coke on my...
I do want to point out, like, I didn't really have very much live performance at this point in time in my life, so I am standing very still, and I'm not really interacting as well as I probably should, but just kind of pointing that out.
into the table. I'm about to turn a reality into a fable. Hi, I'm Mr. Solid. What just can I be all on your body? I mean, you really are a hottie. I can tell you do Pilates. Let's blow this joint so we can blow this joint and I can binge this joint if you get my point. And that's all it took. Like I just threw the lure, she's already hooked. We tried to get a motel, but they all were booked. She said we have to go to her house if we want to get shook. So I turned down the street, we said we had to be quiet.
Let's not wake my roommates, they can get a bit violent.
We slipped past the front door and into her room. Then we took off our clothes. The positions we assumed there were 69 missionary doggy style cowgirl. 69 missionary doggy style cowgirl. 69 missionary doggy style cowgirl. That girl really rocked my world. And we're dancing like a broken birdhouse. She just needed a screw.
OMG, you're amazing. How do you do what you do?
I can show you, baby girl, but are you ready for round two? Oh! You don't talk when I heard the door close. I didn't move, she didn't move. We both laid there froze. I think your roommates are awake. Maybe I should go. She kind of panicked, kind of grabbed me, then she just said,
No.
the door opened up. She said, I thought to myself, wait, oh no, daddy. I'm laying in my underwear. Her daddy giving me a stare. I hope she's legal in Texas. Wait, I don't even care. Yeah, we signed up bail. See, the night was swell, but I don't want to go to jail. He tried to jump for me, but I rolled to the left. I was ready to fight. We hit his head on the desk. I got my shoes and my pants and started running down the hall. But out of the corner of my eye, I knew this woman I saw. I'm Mr. Soft. Fuentes, can I be all on your... Oh, yeah. Bell. Out the front door, over lawn no, over the front gate, over an orange cone, down the street, into a push, I'm at the light like a ninja in the night. Great escape? I think that night was great. Now where did I park? What was this girl's name? Olivia. Thank you, Olivia.
Hey, give it up, give it up, give it up! That's like some Billy Army, I mean some Lil Dicky stuff right there. It's like some...
Compared me to Little Dicky. Oh, but yeah, I mean, that was always fun times over there at the Gardens. I actually heard that there were they finally got the approval to from the city of Corpus to finally fix up the garden area and get the fountains and stuff back running again, get everything going. So maybe if all that gets fixed back up, we'll start doing CC Fridays there again, like we did back in the past.
Hopefully, I'd love to be out to one.
Yeah, no, it was. It's so crazy to talk about too, because I was talking about this to the last people that I went to for CC Fridays. That at that time, it was just so raw and new, and we were just kids having fun in a sense. We're all in our 20s. They were younger than I was. I think I was like 25 at that time, and they were like literally like turning 20, 21. So I was about 5 years older than most of those people there. And it was just a bunch of people just having a good time. Now it's been like years since then. And I don't know. I guess sometimes you feel like, some people they lose the magic of childhood. I guess that's the best way to explain it. You get a little bit older, you get a little bit more cynical about life, and things just don't seem the same. And I kind of feel like, unfortunately, because I do love these guys, I do feel like life's kind of beating them up a little bit. And like the last time I've seen them, they just weren't the same people that I knew at that point, which is, I mean, that's to be expected. People grow. I get it. They change. But I always hope for change for the better, and it seems like a lot of these people are not changing for the worse, but going through some shit. And it always sucks to know that people that you knew are going through some shit. It really does. It's really hard to see, especially when there's nothing you can really do about it. A lot of people make their own problems, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I really do hope that maybe we can try to put something together, and maybe we could get something constant going, and I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to show that because it was the first song I ever performed at CC Fridays. As you can see, everyone was having fun listening to it, and they were reacting to it. It was one of my favorite moments in life, to be honest, when I got to perform at CC Fridays, because I didn't really have much feedback, back then. I didn't really know what to expect from people, except for people that were in my local area, which, some people said it was good and some people didn't tell me anything, which makes me think they thought it was bad. So, going to an actual crowd of people I didn't know, I didn't really know any of these people. Like, I didn't know any of these people. The only reason I ended up there was because I went to House of Rock one day on open mic and literally just walked around asking, like, hey, where can I go, for hip hop stuff? And like literally the first guy I asked was the first guy that told me, hey, there's this thing called CC Fridays. You ever heard of it? No, I never heard of it. Come here on this day at this time. Okay, I'm there. And that's what I did. And it was never regretted the decision. It was just like the most random shit too. Show up at midnight at the Water Gardens over there by the museum. Yeah. There's gonna be a whole setup there. Just show up. There's gonna be a bunch of people, underage drinking and marijuana everywhere. Like, just show up, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Just show up. And I did. But no, I love those guys. I love Tony. I love Carbon, Ryan, and his brother. I always get them confused because I think Ryan was the non-rapper and Carbon was the rapper, but they were twins. So I'd always get them confused because one of them would run sound and one of them would do the rapping and hosting. And I'd be like, hey, Carbon. He's like, I'm not Carbon, I'm Ryan. I was like, oh, shit, sorry, bro. Eventually I was able to start telling them apart. But I remember I started making it a game. Like, every time I showed up, I'd be like, Carbon, Ryan. And he'd be like, no. I'd be like, oh, fuck. Okay. I remember the first time I learned that Carbon's name was, or I think, what's his real, I don't remember his real name, but I think it's Ryan. It might be the other guy's name, Ryan. But anyway, I remember when I figured out his real name, I was like, your real name's this? And he's like, and he started laughing so hard. He's like, dude, you have no idea how much gold that was. Like, he's like, I always kind of wish that someone would come up to me and be like, your real name's this? Because they only knew me as Carbon. And it happened right now with you. And I was like, thanks, man. I'm glad I can make one of your dreams come true. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got for Night Out. I mean, it's a dated song that has survived the test of time, I believe.
Well, that's pretty much it for the episode. Episode 2, Night Out. It's great seeing your progression from live. You said that was your first one, right?
That was one of my first, live stuff.
Yeah, it's great seeing it now because you're so awkward and like pre-beard, and seeing you now having fun on there. Mm-hmm. But we'll catch y'all guys in episode 3. Episode 3, we'll be talking about So in Love. Peace.